What a night, what a night, what a night. Pacers get the win 129-109 over the Cleveland Cavaliers. After Friday night's game, where the Pacers had it pretty much handed to them by the Cleveland Cavaliers, Pacers come back, take everything to heart, learn their lessons, and they were tough lessons to learn. But they come back, solid performance in game four, dominating performance in game four. Let's not hold anything back. This might have been one of the best executed games the Indiana Pacers have ever played. I mean, it was incredible. And I know it sounds like hyperbole to say that, but let me just tell you the Indiana Pacers had a 41-point halftime lead. They were up 80-39, more than doubling the Cleveland Cavaliers at the half. I mean, this was just an absolute blowout, demolition, whatever adjective you can come up with or verb. I mean, they were just unbelievable last night. And so much of what we said were going to be keys to the game, I told you ahead of time. I mean, I laid it all out. Pacers had to rebound. Well, guess what? They decided to finally rebound. Rebounding in last night's contest, Pacers had 37 rebounds. Cleveland had a total of 41. I mean, that's not bad. 10 offensive rebounds total for the game for the Cavaliers. I mean, 10 or less you can live with. And I think they got a couple of those late when the starters were out. I thought in the first half, the Pacers did a great job on the boards. They boxed out, five-man rebounding. They did a terrific job in that first half. In fact, there wasn't much you could really complain about the first half. Defensive intensity was there from the start. Rebounding was there from the start. Shot making was there from the start. The Pacers just thoroughly crushed the Cleveland Cavaliers. And so now the real challenge for the Pacers moving forward is how do you respond to Cleveland's answer to being embarrassed? You know, the Pacers, they got beat pretty soundly on Friday night at home, and that kind of gave them some real focus going into Saturday on areas they needed to improve. It gave them some inspiration and some drive and motivation to come back and play a better game on Sunday. You know that the Cleveland Cavaliers are not going to lay down and go away. They've got too much pride. They're going to come back. But domination by the Pacers bigs, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam over Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley, just unbelievable performance. Love it all the way around. But I told you, rebounding, defense, taking away Donovan Mitchell's penetration, and Donovan Mitchell now a big question mark moving forward in this series because he injured his ankle, couldn't come back in the second half. And I know the score was one-sided, but Mitchell went out there at halftime and tested it. And I'm like, if you're going to sit him out because it's a 41-point game, why would he come out and test the ankle on the court in front of everyone if he didn't think he was going to play? So I believe that Mitchell wanted to play. There was no way that ankle was going to be in the condition it needed to be for him to take the court. Now, it makes it a lot easier for both Mitchell and the team to say, not going to come back tonight. But I don't think it was a decision based solely on the score. I think it was a decision based on the condition of the ankle, at least in some level. And I think that's going to lead to a question mark for game 5 in Cleveland coming up in a couple of nights. But man, that was just a fun game to watch if you're a Pacers fan. It was probably pretty painful to watch if you're a Cleveland fan. But Pacers fans had to enjoy this one. Obi Toppin, I said, would be the X factor. I thought that Obi Toppin had to have a bounce back game. Now, we all, because we all know Halliburton he's going to be okay. He's going to have some ups and downs occasionally and have some tough shooting nights. And part of that is because he has kind of an awkward shot. And I've always said anybody who shoots in a non fundamental nature is going to have some highs and lows shooting the ball. And Tyrese Halliburton didn't have a great night on Friday, came back, had a terrific night last night. Halliburton ended up in the game. He was 3 for 8, didn't shoot a whole bunch. 4 for 5 at the free throw line. He was just 1 for 5 from three, but he was a plus 27 while he was on the court. Had 11 points, had 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Pretty complete game. And of course, Halliburton only played 26 minutes. Turner was out there for just 22. How about Miles Turner shooting threes? 4 for 4, 7 for 13 from the field, and 7 rebounds in those 22 minutes. He really took it to heart about the rebounding. He took that very personal. And he ended up with 20 points. Siakam had 21. Obi Toppin added another 20. Toppin 9 of 14 from the field, including a Dr. J like reverse layup, 45 years to the day where Dr. J became nationally famous with that reverse layup in the NBA Finals against the Los Angeles Lakers. But what a night for the Pacers. They get the 20-point win. They led by as many as 44 points and pretty much cruised in the second half. We got to be honest, the bench wasn't very good. The last five guys, the mop up duty over the last 7, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, it wasn't good. And Jarris Walker didn't do himself any favors if he wants to get back into the rotation. Last night, really didn't have a spot in the regular rotation. Jarris Walker got his minutes when the game was out of hand. And Jarris Walker, 2 for 8 from the field, 0 for 3 from distance, and a minus 15 in 14 minutes of play. Not exactly a way you earn additional minutes with the way he performed over the last 8, 9 minutes of that basketball game. But just solid all the way around for the Pacers. They end up shooting 43% from three, made 15 threes, shot 53% from the field, and they held Cleveland to 43% shooting, and that percentage went up dramatically in that fourth quarter. Pacers were outscored in the second half pretty badly. But the thing is, I don't think that has a big carryover. Sometimes you think, oh, they're setting it up for game five, getting their momentum back, getting their mojo back. I don't think that's the case with Cleveland because the starters were sitting there pouting on the bench while the backups were the ones that were actually beating up on the Pacers late in that game. Game five in Cleveland, it is do or die now for the number one seed Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Pacers with a real shot to put this away. It's going to be tough. I mean, I think game five is going to be the best game of the series so far. And we've had a couple of good ones with Tyrese Halliburton hitting the buzzer beating 3-pointer to win game two. I think game five is going to be a dogfight. It's going to be physical. It's going to be a fight. And by the way, Benedict Mathurin, the little push and shove with DeAndre Hunter, that should not have been an ejection. I mean, I can understand a flagrant one. I could even understand the technical foul if you deem it to be a play that happened after the whistle. But it did appear that it was a live ball play. So they had the choice of flagrant one, flagrant two. I thought it was a flagrant one. It was just a shove into the chest, almost a poke or a jab. It really was not a punch. The media keeps reporting this as a punch, and if you watch it, it's not a punch. A punch is something you do to somebody's face, or if you're really a cheap shot guy, you do it down there in the groin. That wasn't the case. Right into the chest, little quick jab, little quick poke, however you want to determine or refer to it. But I thought it was a little much to give him the flagrant two and the ejection. So we'll see what happens. I thought DeAndre Hunter obviously deserved something significant, technical foul, Miles Turner, though, got a little too overly aggressive in jumping in to break it up. And that's where a third man in has to be really careful. And Turner uh, ran right into Hunter and gave him a pretty good bump and shove. So sorted out. Hopefully, cooler heads prevail for Game 5, and the Pacers come back and maybe wrap this series up. 96% chance when you've got a team that goes up 3-1 in the NBA playoffs. 96% of the time they go on to win. Is it Game 5? Is it Game 6? Or is it Game 7? The problem you've really got, two of these three are in Cleveland, and you don't want this to drag on, because it puts more and more pressure on the Pacers each game that you get to advance with Cleveland still alive. So, Pacers, big win last night. And how about the Panthers and Sergei Bobrovsky? Man, Bob, you came to play. He was unbelievable last night. A 2-0 shutout win for the Florida Panthers. And if you haven't seen the goal, you ought to check it out. Bennett with an unbelievable little toe drag and shot it into the net. It was a 2-on-1 that became a 2-on-2, but both of the defenders went for the other guy and left Bennett alone in front. And Sam Bennett delivers with a huge goal that made it 2-0 in that third period. And you kind of felt like next goal was going to win. It was 1-0 for an eternity. And eventually the Panthers got that 2-0 lead. So the Panthers have gotten it evened up against Toronto as the series shifts back to Canada for Game 5. That was fun. So I had a good night, the Pa night. Pacers, Panthers, and I watched both games back and forth. Fortunately, the Pacers gave me a reason to be able to watch more of the Panthers, because the Panthers were in a real fight and the Pacers not so much. So I was able to watch a lot more of the Panthers. But fun night last night. All right, so we will. Hey, TinCaps are coming back home. How about that? TinCaps got a huge win yesterday as Braden Carpathios hits count them, two home runs, and the TinCaps roll to a 10-3 win. So they have won, what is it, 8 out of 11, 9 out of 12, 10 out of 13, whatever the number is. They are the hottest team in the Midwest League, as they'll start a series against first place West Michigan, 2 games behind the Whitecaps. And that series starts on Tuesday. So if everything goes really well this week, the TinCaps would have a chance to close that margin. But it's going to be a tough series. West Michigan's played really, really good baseball. And so they got West Michigan this week, and then after a day off of next Monday, they've got another series against one of the leaders in the Western Division in the Cedar Rapids Colonels. So it's going to be a tough 2 weeks at home, but the TinCaps are at home. And hopefully this weather stays nice and fans come out to the ballpark and support the TinCaps, who currently sit in second place, just 2 games behind first place West Michigan, with the series against West Michigan starting Tuesday night and running through Sunday. All right, have a great week. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share, do all that fun stuff. Have a great Monday.